Hi, I'm finally making a makeup tutorial. It's super long overdue, but anyway, I always start with a clean face, whether it's straight out of the shower or it's like I wash my face. And then I put these two serums on. It's either the Ordinary and it's the niacinamide and zinc, and then there's the alpha arbutin, whatever. I start with the alpha first. I only do the alpha once a day. Usually I don't wear makeup to work, so I put these on at the start of my day, and then if I do my makeup at night or something like I'm doing right now, I only use the niacinamide one. Okay. These kind of just seal the cleanliness of your pores, and make sure your skin doesn't like react poorly to putting on all the makeup you're about to see. Step 2, I have 2 primers. They're both kind of out, so I apologize for the noise. Because I'm super pink in color, I use a color corrector. You can use, if you're super yellow in color, you can use, purple. If you're super like pale in color, pinks and any warm tone will help correct, but I'm like super pink, so I use green. And I basically put it on the redness of my face. So majority is at my T-zone. And I start there. It doesn't mean like it doesn't do amazing things, but it definitely helps even out everything. And then I have the Benefit Pore Primer. This stuff is golden. It actually fills in all of your pores. It's pretty amazing stuff. And then I obviously just rub it in my everywhere because I have pores all over my face, right? It kind of just like evens out your skin and like doesn't have, I have huge pores, so it kind of makes my pores minimized a little bit. So that's step 2. Step 3, I basically put on a BB cream or some sort of tinted pre-foundation, so I don't have to use as much foundation later on. NYX is what I use. It's just the Bear With Me. I use this if I am like at a casual thing and I want to put like a small layer of makeup on, or if my skin is super bad and I just wear this to work. That's what I use, and it pretty much covers all blemishes. My foundation is really just to kind of correct the color, so I just put a little dab on my finger and kind of just paint myself like I'm going to war. And a little bit goes a long way, but this stuff is pretty thin. So, and then I have a brush. I use cosmetic brushes. You can use a beauty blender, whatever your preference is, to blend in your stuff. My beauty blenders get really gross really fast because I do makeup on the reg, so I don't love them. So I use this brush and kind of just blend everything in. Make sure to get under your chin. Sometimes your chin is forgotten and then you look like one of those girls that has a really huge line underneath their face, and you don't want to be that girl. That is a Karen move. Okay, and then I kind of just make sure I don't have any like streaks or places that I missed. Voila. Step 4, foundation. I use the Makeup Forever HD. I've used this forever. It is my favorite foundation. It's it's like a medium coverage foundation, just because I am an acne prone person. I do like a little bit more coverage than most people. If you don't love coverage, if you think you can get away without it, you have really good skin, like most of you guys probably do, you can get away with, I mean, Urban Decay Naked is a great one, Bare Minerals, anything like that. So same thing, kind of concept applies, just kind of pretend like you're going to war. And like, you don't have to put this in any particular place. It just kind of needs to be in zones that you won't forget about. And then I just kind of wipe the rest off on my face. And this I kind of dab in. I don't really wipe it until I get to the end. And make sure to get your eyelids. Your eyelids are important. You don't want to look like you put makeup on. So if you do your eyelids, your face will look all the same color. And I'm using that same brush. Kind of bad. I don't really change brushes very often, but that's okay. And then after I kind of even it out, then I start brushing it in to make sure it's nice and even across my skin and there's not more spots that have more makeup on it. Okay. Okay, I honestly kind of forgot what step we're on, but next is concealer. So I use the NARS concealer. It is the bomb diggity. It does dry fast, which is a good thing. You kind of want it to cake in and soak into your skin. So I put this along the places that I want highlighted, usually your T-zone, and you have a little bit of wings, but whatever. Okay, so T-zone here, and this stuff is super thick, so just be mindful of that. You don't want to like cake it too bad, but you do want it to bake like a cake. So what I've got here is my basic T-zone, so here and here, and then I add a little bit of highlight just because I do contour underneath these lines to make my face look cut as heck. So then you kind of let it sit for about a couple minutes. And then same thing, maybe not a couple minutes, but you know, a minute or two. I guess it is a couple minutes. Anyway, and then you do the same thing, you dab it and then you wipe it out. Okay, so now that I've got the concealer all nice and spread out, it's super important to make sure that you're not super caked on the inside of your nose, so make sure that's all nice and spread out. And then probably my biggest mistake is that I don't really wipe this area very well, and then it kind of cakes in between your eyebrows. So make sure you kind of fan that out really well too. The next step is gonna be your setting powder. And I do use a beauty blender for this, just because it soaks up all the powder really well. So I use Morph. You can use, NYX has a really good setting powder. Some of them are translucent, some of them are colored. It depends on what your skin type is or what your color is. Translucent is always best to me because it kind of sinks into your color, but this one's a little bit, as you can see, it's kind of banana-y / cream colored, because I'm cream colored. So I give myself a nice baked, as we're talking about cake, I'm kind of hungry, look here. And again, it's really important that you get your T-zones in the zones that you just highlighted, because this is going to be the powder that makes that stick. So I get all of that, and the areas above my eyebrows kind of get greasy. I'm a very greasy person, so I also do that area as well. You can apply a very liberal amount, generous amount to your face. And then you kind of let it sit for a minute. And then you just kind of take your beauty blender and smooth it out. And you can see that I've kind of contoured my face with just this alone. And then that's it. Next up, you're gonna have your eyeshadow primer. So I use Urban Decay. This one's colored, some of them are not, but Urban Decay has the best eyeshadow primer ever. And it lasts a pretty long time. So I apply it pretty much to my entire eyelid, because your eyeshadow and your eyelashes touch the top of your eyelid, and you don't want your mascara to run onto the top of your eyelid as well. So I do it all over my eyelid. Next is eyebrows. This is where it gets a little tricky because I have none. I use two different products just because I have no eyebrows. I basically fill them in first with a pencil, and then I kind of outline them with a brush. So I use Goof Proof Benefit to kind of give my eyebrows a little bit of a help, and then I use NYX Tame Frame with this brush that has the eyebrow brush at the end, and then this is nice and tapered, and it's pretty thin. So basically, hold on, I have to move my mirror over. I color in, let's see, can you see me? Cool. Color in my eyebrows. And try really hard not to go outside the lines, because that is what your eyebrow shape tape is. Not shape tape, whatever. Tame Frame. They're all called very similar things. Okay, so I filled in-ish one eyebrow, and then the other one I do the same. And remember, they are sisters, they are not twins. Your eyebrows are made totally different from each other. You know, you can try your hardest to get them the same. I always have one that acts up one day, and then the other one acts better the other. It kind of just depends on their mood. And my artistic skills, I guess. So they're nice and colored in. So next I take this Tame Frame. Sometimes it gets a little dry, so sometimes you can add water, but not a lot. And then I basically create the edges of my eyebrows. So I go along the edge. See, they act up sometimes. And then it's important that you don't do too much on the front half of your eyebrow, just because that's what this brush is for. So you don't have to fill in the front half too thick, because you don't want to look like a Nike check. It's also a Karen thing to do. Okay. So, I kind of make sure my eyebrows are not there, obviously. So it helps if you just go straight across, if you want to get that nice shape. I don't have a lot of arch. Some people have a lot of arch. It just depends on what kind of shape you want. But I literally just go from the tip of my eyebrow just straight across, because I kind of want a flatter eyebrow, I guess. So you can see how it's straight across and then kind of does its thing on this side. All right, so fun part is the front of the eyebrow. I do a pretty distinct line on the underside of my eyebrow right here, and then I just brush upward. So you get that nice fade effect there. Like that. And then after that, you can kind of fill it in to make it a little less obvious that you drew on your eyebrow, even though it is very obvious that you drew on your eyebrow. Makeup's cool. And then I just kind of clean up the edges with my finger. So there is one eyebrow. I'm not gonna make you do the other side with me because it will take too long. All right, now it's time for some liquid liner. Or you can just throw on mascara and leave. It's your personal preference if you don't feel comfortable with eyeliner. Or you can use a pencil and kind of smudge it on, but I use liquid liner. And I use Kat Von D tattoo liner. It's my favorite. It looks like a pin. And I'm gonna try my best to show you guys what this looks like, but oh God, okay, we're gonna hold the phone up here. Okay, so I usually start in the middle of my eyelid and just kind of make a straight line. Like that. Okay, and then you can kind of see that it is coming off my waterline a little bit. So I extend that and make a nice wing. And then I come over and I finish the front half of my eyeliner. Like that. You can go higher up with your wing. I literally just go on the waterline and then extend it. That's how I do makeup for weddings too, so that when you open your eye, it's not up here on your eyelid. Same on the same other side. Again, your eyes are sisters, they are not twins. This eye, I can't put as much eyeliner on because I don't know why, but it looks thicker on that side. So I try my best to cater to each eye. Next is mascara. So I use Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, and I have super long eyelashes, so normally if I do a wedding, I curl them first and then I put mascara on, excuse me. But for me, I don't have to do that. So I start here, and I also brush the back of my eyelashes. Because you do get eyeshadow on the back of your eyelashes and they don't look as dark if you don't do the backs of them. It also kind of helps you curl them and make sure that your eyeshadow or your mascara is nice and even. Okay, so, and then I do the bottom. And I know I look like a fish. And it's the same thing on the other side. All right, now it's time to do probably the most important part of your makeup experience, contouring. So I start with highlighter first because the highlighter will take over your dark, like blush and stuff. So I start with highlighter first, and I know you can't see this, but I use a ColourPop highlighter and this fan brush, and I just kind of get some on there, and then I fan it on my face. I love this brush. It's so soft and nice. Same thing on the other side. Depends on your mood. If you want to pop, you can keep doing it, until you are glowing like the damn sun. Nose, I go all the way down the bridge and then a little bit on the edge, and then I go on my upper Cupid's bow. So I go here and then down as well, so your Cupid's bow is nice and contoured, and then a little bit on my chin. So those T-zones we worked really hard on to make not greasy earlier, we just made them look greasy, so whatever. And then next I do blush. I use a NYX Sweet Cheeks matte blush, just because I am kind of a naturally oily person. This is, I think, a It Cosmetics brush. You want a fat brush. Then I just kind of dab, and then it's depending on your face shape. I just do the cheekiest part of my cheek, and then I brush up to finish. Same thing on the other side. Cheekiest part of your cheek, the fattest part, the actual cheek itself, and then I brush up. Okay, and then lastly, you want to make sure that you didn't just like dab it and that you don't have a line here. So kind of smooth it out with your fingers. Make sure you don't have a blush line. And then next is contour. I use Hoola Benefit contour. You can use anything. You can use concealer. You can use, you know, as long as it's not too dark. And it comes with this fan brush, but there's also brushes like this that you can get better contouring as well. And then I go down my nice line that I just made, and then I blend it in. So now you have a nice contour line. And I realized I got a lot on there. Same thing on this side. It helps if you extend your cheek to see where that line is. Right there, and then blend it in. Okay, next thing I do is my forehead. I have a very big forehead. So I make sure that my 5 head looks like a 3 head, and I just do the whole top near my hairline. I do pretty much my entire hairline right here. And then I do right above the end of my eyebrow. It kind of makes it look like you have shape right here too. And then your nose. You can actually do your nose contour first. And I've seen videos where they literally just bronze their whole nose and then they put highlighter on top and it looks great. But me personally, I just do a little line here and a little line here. Obviously, the closer in you go, it's gonna make your nose look thinner. And then I do a little line here, right underneath my highlight, and then I do a little bit of a ridge so that it looks like my nose is super buttony. And then make sure you don't go too far down, so I do clean that up a little bit, just with my finger. And then down here, I extend this to give my potato face more shape, and kind of go underneath my chin. Like that. Make sure you blend everything in. And just like that, your face is beat. You can add, I usually just use chapstick, and I kind of like the naked look that I have, just because I did put my foundation over my lips a little bit. You can do a nice lip gloss, you know, any lip preference, but I don't really like wearing lipstick that much, so. This is pretty much an everyday look for me. It's pretty simple. If you feel like your contour is too excessive, you can take that beauty blender and kind of make it a little less dramatic, which I do sometimes because I'm not on drag. I mean, I would love to be, but I'm not RuPaul, so which is unfortunate. So it's a little bit softer. And a little bit more natural looking. Thanks for watching.